You know that feeling when you give someone the benefit of the doubt, only to have it bite you in the ass so hard it leaves a permanent bruise? Yeah, that was me with my son, so-called best friend Jake. I've always been a pretty chill dad, maybe a little too trusting. My son Ryan had been best friends with Jake since middle school, and from the outside, Jake seemed like an all-right kid. Quiet, smart, a bit edgy, but nothing I thought was out of line. I let them hang out after school, sleep over. Sometimes I even let Jake borrow my car for short errands because his own was a heap of junk. I figured, hey, Jake's been around for years, no harm done. One night, something told me to check in. Ryan was out later than usual. When he finally got home, I noticed that smelled something sweet, chemical, unmistakably weed mixed with some kind of hard drug smell. I asked him, and he shrugged. It's just Jake's stuff. He's got problems, but he's cool. That should have rung alarm bells. Fast forward a month. I start noticing cash missing. Small stuff at first, 20 here, 50 there. I blamed myself for not hiding my wallet better. But then things escalated, my laptop was gone. A few bottles of liquor drained, and the security camera I'd installed in the living room disappeared too. One hazy night, I decided to stay up and watch the cameras remotely. What I saw made me want to puke and rage all at once. Jake wasn't just stealing from me. Had turned my house into some sort of drug den, had bring sketchy people over in the middle of the night, passing around pills and who knows what else. There was one scene where Jake shoved a kid I recognized from school into the bathroom and was screaming at him about money he owed. I tried to get closer, but the camera covered the basics. Not enough. The next day I confronted Ryan. He broke down and confessed that Jake had been abusing him too, emotionally and physically forcing him to smuggle drugs between schools, threatening him with a brutal gang if he wouldn't comply. The whole tired act he'd put on was a sick facade of cool rebellion. My son was trapped. I got furious, but I also knew if I went to the cops now, Jake and his gang would vanish, and Ryan would be left alone and vulnerable. I needed something solid, so I played along. I let Jake think he still had my trust. I pretended to be the naive suburban dad supplying free rides and cover. In the meantime, I installed hidden audio recorders disguised as smoke detectors all over the house of my buddy, a tech whiz who owed me a favor. For weeks, Jake talked dirty on those recordings, confessing to stolen goods, drug runs, threats, and I also gathered receipts and tracked bank transfers Jake had set up, which tied him directly to some bigger drug rings my city had been hunting. The night came when I called the cops, armed with every piece of evidence I'd collected. We staged a routine search warrant on my house. Jake and his crew were caught red-handed holding a stash of pricey designer drugs and plenty of cash. The gang Jake had been working for, they were linked to a violent robbery case from 2 years ago that was finally cracked because of this bust. Seeing Jake cuffed and hauled off was surreal. Ryan, finally safe, started therapy and is slowly rebuilding himself. But here comes the sweetest part after the arrest. I found out Jake had been using my son to pay off a debt from a meth deal gone bad. So I took all the stolen cash Jake had hidden in my house and funneled it into a trust fund for Ryan, labeled precisely to protect it from any legal claims Jake's gang might have made. Jake's not just behind bars now. His whole life, his fake reputation, and his nasty scars on my family are burned in the fire of his own greed. But in the end, justice burned brighter than the damage he tried to cause. So when you ask me when I instantly regretted trusting my child's friend, the moment Jake walked through my door, dripping lies and poison. And I'm never looking back.